Hey everyone, this is Ray, and last month I threw this poll up on the community tab, wanting to get you guys' thoughts on music and its source, and whether or not a piece of music from a medium outside of Doom, such as another video game like Blood or Rise of the Triad or Duke Nukem 3D, or any kind of movie, what have you, counts as Doom music, quote unquote, because it may have been included in a Doom WAD or mod, just things like that. I put the poll up there because this will be kind of an important thing going forward as we delve into more music on this channel, and especially for especially for videos where an original piece by a Doom community composer references an outside, an external piece of music. So the votes originally turned out more in favor of no, those tracks don't count as Doom MIDIs. And some of you guys, well, quite a few of you guys elaborated in the comments section, which was great. It was fun to read those and kind of get you guys' thoughts on the whole thing. And I'd be interested to hear, for those who didn't comment, what your thought process was, regardless of how you answered. So that sort of, I think it was more so, more people had said no than yes. I think it was maybe 52% to 48, something like that. It was pretty close, and the poll got a good turnout. And then not long after that, Decino gave this channel a shout out, which was super cool. And then suddenly there were a whole bunch of more people here. And so more votes started coming in on the poll, and gradually what I noticed was that things were starting to even up a bit. The results were actually tied for, I think, a good few days, and then what had ended up happening was that more people ended up saying yes, music from sources outside of Doom or the community do count as honorary Doom MIDIs, or just Doom MIDIs in general, which I thought was really interesting because not only did more people end up saying yes, but I think, if I can pull up the poll here, yeah, there's an even wider margin now of people saying yes over no. It's now 53% yes, 47% no. So that's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. I wouldn't have guessed that because there has been music that I've wanted to talk about on this channel, but I've been unsure whether or not to talk about it because it wasn't technically Doom community made. Those of you who had left comments underneath the poll elaborating your thoughts really made some great cases for both sides of the discussion and really got me thinking a lot more about this kind of topic and how different people see this sort of thing. So it seems that a lot of the time there's a strong case for saying yes by virtue of the fact that it really all comes down to the experience of playing the WAD and listening to the music while you're playing. A lot of the time, and I'm kind of summarizing and paraphrasing here based on what the comments have been saying, but it seems like a lot of the time a track that maybe was written for its original medium may not have been included in that medium. And so it finally found a home in a Doom WAD, and, by proxy, it's a Doom MIDI because that's where it first officially appeared, quote unquote. And then there's also, again, just the overall experience of playing the level, and, sometimes maps and MIDIs from outside sources just tend to get along really well. And so you can play a map with a really good piece and it kind of sticks with you. And so even though it wasn't written for that map intentionally, it can still be an honorary Doom MIDI, so to speak. On the flip side, there's also the argument for no, that just because something may have been included in a Doom project, it doesn't really count as a Doom MIDI because it wasn't written by a member of the community or was written for something else entirely. So again, and this really applies a lot to tracks that show up in popular megawads like like the Rise of the Triad soundtrack in Hell Revealed, or tracks from Duke Nukem 3D or Blood or Mega Man or Mario, anything, any other kind of intellectual property or concept or series or something like that. So there's also that side of the coin too, where just because something might have shown up in a Doom project, it doesn't necessarily count as a Doom MIDI if it wasn't written by someone of the community. I think for a lot of people it comes down just to association and where they might have heard the track first. So again, there's really no, I guess there really isn't a clear answer here. It really just kind of depends on, it just depends on you and what you think about, what you think about the music you're hearing. So where do I stand on all this? I ultimately say no. A track from an outside source doesn't count as a Doom MIDI. And echoing some of the comments underneath the poll, it's because those tracks weren't written by members of the Doom community. I think really if a piece of music is going to be called Doom music, Doom MIDI, whatever the term may be, it has to be written by a musician or composer within the Doom community. I just think that's just kind of how my mind processes it all, and my reasoning on why I say no. Plus, I also say no to stay aligned with the goals and types of content on this channel, because this channel is about the community-made music, and so it wouldn't really make much sense to sort of veer off-road a little bit and explore tracks that were written for something else entirely, when really those tracks weren't made with any kind of Doom project in mind. So that's why I wanted to make this video. I don't know if an entire video needed to be made about this topic, but I felt like it would be a good thing to talk about and just kind of discuss with you guys, because again, going forward, I want to keep everything on this channel focused, keep it focused on what I originally set out to do, which was just to celebrate the music of the Doom community. So if you see any music on here from other games outside of Doom or movies or wherever, it'll likely be in like reference videos, because a lot of the time what can happen, again, I can't remember if I brought it up before, but composers can reference other music in their own works. And so, identifying those references and, pointing them out is part of like those reference videos that, I think I've made a couple already, and I'd like to keep making more of them in the future. But that's really the only instance where you would see something like that, with music outside of the Doom community showing up prominently in that way. So, I'd like to get your thoughts. If you didn't comment underneath the poll, then leave a comment underneath this video and let me know what you think. Where do you stand? Where do you stand on this discussion? And again, there's no right or wrong answers. It really just all depends on how you feel about the music and, how you play, Doom wads. So again, feel free to leave some feedback down below, and I look forward to reading it, because it's really, again, it's honestly cool just to read all you guys' different thoughts about, where you stand on things like this. So yeah, what are your thoughts? With that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.